Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you the latest news on Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno Fernandes has got Liverpool fans talking. Bruno Fernandes defends Liverpool ahead of our huge FA Cup clash with them. He says Liverpool are not playing poorly despite their winless run. And he's expressed his support for Salah, Firmino and Mane. So let's go further down and see, what he's actually said. Let's see. So, yeah, this is what Bruno Fernandes has said ahead of the game. I think teams have moments. I don't think Liverpool are playing poorly, like I've just mentioned. I think they don't win, and this is the point Fernandes told the Manchester United website. Like I've just mentioned, he also expressed support for Salah, Firmino, Mane, who are all misfiring at the moment. Obviously, they're not taking the chances. And then he said, when teams don't win, everyone talks about that. When players don't score, everyone talks about that, Fernandes explained. I feel that on me because I know the standard is high, because I arrived and I scored a lot of goals and make a lot of assists, and everyone is wanting goals and assists from me. Let's go further down. It is the same. Everyone expects goals from Salah, from Firmino and from Mane. They are not scoring in their last games, and it starts feeling like, they are not playing well. But yeah, Fernandes suggested that lack of fans in stadiums has worked against Liverpool's, whose Anfield fortress has been buttressed by a fervent home supporter base that can affect visiting teams. The Portuguese also said that it would be foolish to underestimate Liverpool because of their recent woes. Every team goes there to play maybe without the pressure of the fans, he said. Teams play a little bit more comfortably, and as I say, I think it's a moment they create, they play, but the other teams are playing better, and as I said before, they have more qualities to play. We don't have to look at that moment because big teams and big players can show in every moment. So yeah, so this is what Bruno Fernandes has said. I certainly think Bruno Fernandes will be playing in the game tomorrow. He does need a rest though at some point because we have been overplaying him. But Solskjaer did say in his press conference prior to the game against Fulham that, he doesn't need a rest, and he defended Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United now almost a year. He is our best player, and he's the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. He won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. In most of his games, he has been consistent. There's only been the odd couple of games where he has lacked that pace. But Fernandes scores goals, he provides assists, and he creates chances. Predominantly plays as a number 10. He was obviously disappointed that we didn't win a trophy last season because he said he came to Manchester to win trophies. So there you go. To be honest with you, I think we will beat Liverpool tomorrow. I think we will win 2-1. If we do beat Liverpool, we will progress to the 5th round of the competition. We progress to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Watford in the 3rd round 1-0. It was a goal from Scott McTominay. We are the second most successful team in FA Cup history. We have won 12 FA Cups. We got to the semi-final last season, lost to Chelsea. The last time we won the FA Cup was back in 2016 under the Louis van Gaal era. Liverpool have won the FA Cup quite a few times, but they haven't won it since 2006. The FA Cup isn't really a priority for them. Liverpool progressed to the fourth round of the competition by beating Villa in the third round 4-1. There's been 17 previous FA Cup meetings between Man United and Liverpool. We've won 9. There's been 4 draws and Liverpool have won 4. The last meeting in the FA Cup was back in 2012. We lost that game 2-1. It was a late goal from De Kuyt. Obviously, in this game tomorrow, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's going to make rotation. He confirmed that in his press conference. He said that Victor Lindelof is fine, so he's in contention to play. Victor Lindelof has recently been out with a back injury, sustained a couple of back injuries. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the press conference hit back at claims that we were defensive at Anfield in the league last weekend, and he said that we were attacking too. So he's responded to what Jurgen Klopp said, because Jurgen Klopp criticised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics, in the 0-0 game at Anfield last weekend. So basically Jurgen Klopp doesn't like the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer set up. Like I said, it was only a few weeks ago that Jurgen Klopp was moaning about the amount of penalties that we get. He said we get a penalty every 3 games, and he said that we've had more penalties in 2 years than he's had in 5.5 years at Liverpool. But we had more clear-cut chances than Liverpool in that game last weekend. Like I said, Bruno Fernandes had a fantastic chance, didn't convert it. And Paul Pogba had a fantastic chance. Produced a good save from Alisson, didn't convert it. But Paul Pogba should have scored that. But to Paul Pogba's credit, he made up for that miss against Liverpool because he scored an absolutely fantastic goal in the 2-1 win against Fulham recently. Solskjaer also praised Wan-Bissaka during the press conference. He says that Wan-Bissaka is regarded as one of the best one-against-one defensive fullbacks. And he basically wants us to replicate the spirit of 1999, with another FA Cup win over Liverpool. So it was a pretty good press conference from Ole. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th game against Liverpool as Man United manager. So will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat Jurgen Klopp for the first time as Manchester United manager tomorrow? Jurgen Klopp has come out and said that he's going to put out a strong team. I've just recently given you our expected lineup for the game tomorrow. It's Dean Henderson in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back, 2 centre-halves, Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire, left back Alex Telles, midfield Matic and McTominay, Bruno Fernandes ahead of them in the number 10, Rashford on the left, Paul Pogba on the right. I think he'll go in more of an advanced role. He's been playing in more of an advanced role recently. Looks very effective there, to be fair. And Edison Cavani up top. Man United and Liverpool are the 2 most successful clubs in England. Our next league game is Sheffield United. We certainly should be winning that. And after Sheffield United, we have got Arsenal. That's going to be a test for us. Yeah, we're coming into this game though with a lot of confidence. Don't forget we are unbeaten in our last 13 Premier League games. We've been exceptional away from home in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for just over a year. We are unbeaten in our last 17 Premier League away games. So we equalled our record from the 98-99 season. So yeah, if we do beat Arsenal at the end of the month, we will break that record. But like I say, Liverpool have been in a bad vein of form. They are winless in their last 5 Premier League games. They did recently lose to Burnley 1-0. Burnley ended their 68 match unbeaten run at Anfield in the Premier League. But don't forget, we haven't beaten Liverpool since 2018. We haven't beaten them at Anfield since 2016. But there again, Liverpool haven't got the best of records at Old Trafford. The last time they beaten us at Old Trafford was back in 2014. Like I say, Jurgen Klopp will be under some sort of pressure, reflecting how poor Liverpool have been recently, but obviously he's not going to get sacked. I think Jurgen Klopp is the best manager Liverpool have had in this generation. He's made some progress. He's been at Liverpool now almost 6 years, is it? He's won 4 trophies as Liverpool manager so far. Last season he won the Premier League. That was Liverpool's first title in 30 years. He also won the Super Cup and he won the FIFA Club World Cup, and the season before he won the Champions League. Liverpool have won the Champions League 6 times, and I think it was last season he extended his contract with Liverpool till 2024. Probably will see out his contract, and Liverpool is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Before he was at Liverpool, he was at Dortmund, won a few trophies at Dortmund, and before he was at Dortmund, he was at Mainz 05. Like I've said to Liverpool have got very, very good players in their team. And when they do play well, they like to keep the ball, they like to pass the ball, they like to press, they like to create chances, and they also like to score goals. My reaction for that game will be coming up tomorrow after the game. But like I say, there's a lot of Man United fans that are now Ollie in, reflecting on the progress he's made in the last year or so. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has received a lot of criticism as Manchester United manager, especially earlier on in the season, reflecting how inconsistent we was. But with how good we've been in recent months and that, a lot of United fans have changed their perception on Solskjaer. Don't forget, there's 3 trophies that we can pursue this season. We can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. Solskjaer knows how important it is to get his first trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy now for just over 4 years. And you know what? We can win the Premier League this season. We're top at the moment and no one expected us to be there with how poor we was earlier on in the season. But Solskjaer's been playing mind games in recent weeks. He was actually saying prior to the Burnley game that, we must stay humble and not think we've cracked it if we go top. He said after our 1-0 win against Wolves earlier on in the season that we're not in the title races yet, but if we are still challenging in March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. But it would be a remarkable achievement to win the league. And if we did win the league, then I can assure Solskjaer is a long-term manager for us. But if we do win it, it will be our 21st title overall and our first Premier League title since 2013. But we deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer, because he could have easily have been sacked as Manchester United manager. Because obviously we've enjoyed bad periods under him. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. He was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. He was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. But yeah, when we was inconsistent, Solskjaer was partly to blame, but obviously not all of the blame stemmed from him. Obviously at the time, certain players had to take responsibility. But now, Solskjaer's getting better and better. He's been in the old Man United back. Our performances are starting to improve. Players are improving as well. But I've got to say, since Cavani's come in, he's made a difference. And since Bruno Fernandes has come in, he's made a difference. And Paul Pogba's obviously been in very, very good form. And even Wayne Rooney believes we can go all the way this season. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season as Manchester United manager. And he has been Man United manager now for over 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018. And he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. But reflecting now on his being at the club, he's gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. Maybe there's still a few things that he has got to learn. And I think, reflect on the progress he's made, he's on course to earn himself a new contract. I think he's more than halfway through now his 3-year deal. Obviously, he signed that 3-year deal back in March 2019 when he got the job permanently. But yeah, I think we can win the title. If we make at least one more signing, if these good performances persist and Paul Pogba stays in form and Cavani keeps delivering the goods in that. And obviously we've got to keep our key players fit because we've had quite a few injuries this season. And maybe you've got to say we've got to start beating some of the big teams. Because Solskjaer cannot beat the big teams. That's been proven so far this season. So people have been saying, if you are to be genuine title contenders, you've got to beat the big teams. But yeah, obviously earlier on this season, Solskjaer got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Lost that game against City 2-0. He did well last season in his first full season. Got us qualification for the Champions League, got us third and guided us to 3 semi-finals. Like I've said, he's made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He spent over £200 million. This January transfer window is his 5th transfer window as Man United manager. He's also got rid of quite a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. So we have got to give him a lot of credit. Not so long ago, Solskjaer gave us an update on our January transfer plans, and don't forget he said that January signings are unlikely, but he admits there could be further more departures in this January transfer window, because he's still deadwood at the football club he needs to get rid of. Not long now till this January transfer window shuts, but don't forget Ed Woodward has promised, that he will back Solskjaer. He did say towards the end of last year that he will back him with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. I've given you the 3 areas where I think Man United need to strengthen up. I think we need a striker, we need a world-class midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. The news on the transfers and that. I've given you the news today. I obviously give you the news on Kalidou Koulibaly. I give you the news on Upamecano yesterday. Earlier on today, I give you the news on Declan Rice. I also give you the news on Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. A couple of days ago, I give you the news on Christian Eriksen. So yeah, there's a lot of players that are on our agenda. But yeah, certainly this year we're going to sell players. But there's also a lot of players that we will keep at the football club. You know the news on Amad Diallo Traore. I heard that Solskjaer could hand Diallo Traore's debut tomorrow against Liverpool. Solskjaer said not so long ago that Amad Diallo Traore could be part of the first team squad in the next few weeks. We did get him in a deal worth £37 million with add-ons included, and we paid £19 million up front. His move to Man United was official earlier on this month, but the deal was actually agreed last October. So it's good that Solskjaer's brought more young players in, but I like the way he's promoted the youth in general. You know the news on Donny van de Beek. ESPN recently said that we've rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek. We won't let him leave in this January transfer window. Donny van de Beek seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 games in the league so far, and that was West Ham and Southampton. Most of his appearances have come from the bench, Donny van de Beek's. I think he's made around 21 appearances in total. Now, we got him in a deal worth £40 million from Ajax, paid £35 million up front, and there was £5 million in add-ons. So obviously Van de Beek's under contract with the club till 2025. He can play in like 3 different roles. At Ajax, he was predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but you can put him as a number 10, and you can also put him out wide. Solskjaer was speaking about him a few weeks ago, and he insists that he's got a bright future at Man United. He tips him to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. Ronald de Boer urged Donny van de Beek to leave the club to boost his chances for the Euros, and the Ajax CEO Edwin van der Sar was recently talking about Donny van de Beek. He said he's spoken to people at Man United about Donny van de Beek, and he says Man United remain confident that Van de Beek will be a success at Old Trafford. You know the news on Paul Pogba? Paul Pogba is set to now stay at Manchester United by the looks of things. It looked certain that he was going to leave Manchester United, but he is inspiring our title challenge. And don't forget, Paul Pogba recently contradicted Mino Raiola for the second time. His future is on hold until the end of the season, so I think a decision will be made on his future at the end of this season. Paul Pogba could even sign a new long-term contract at the club. But to his credit, his performances have been very, very good since he came back from that ankle injury earlier on this month. Earlier on in the season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury, and he had a minor injury not so long ago. But yeah, he has had a long-running transfer saga. He has been linked to a move to PSG. He said not so long ago that PSG were talking with his agent Mino Raiola, and said a few weeks ago that Pochettino identified him as his number 1 target. He's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Swap deals have been high on the agenda. Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus, and he's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. Said a few weeks ago we had revealed our asking price. We want around 75 million. Fabrizio Romano did say that Pogba will leave in the summer, providing that an agreement is reached. Mini Oriola told 2 Sport last month that his client's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. You know, Solskjaer was furious with Mini Oriola's announcement, because it was just before the game against Leipzig in the Champions League. But earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with us till June 2022. You know, he's our most expensive signing at the moment, paid £89 million for him, and I think this is his 5th season at the club since he rejoined. But we need to keep him more of an advanced role because he seems to be more effective there, and we've been playing him there recently. So, yeah. I'll probably be giving you an update on some more transfer news tomorrow. Like I say, we was inconsistent for so long, but all of a sudden now we're very consistent. You know, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. Obviously, we sacked 3 managers. You know, we sacked Moyes, who was very inconsistent under him. We sacked Louis van Gaal, who was we started off well under him, and then obviously was inconsistent. And Jose Mourinho, we started off well with him because he won 3 trophies in his first season, but then after that, we was inconsistent. But like I've said to you, no one's going to replicate Ferguson's legacy at the club. We're getting glimpses of the Ferguson era now, but no one's obviously going to last as long as Ferguson did, either. Ferguson endured 27 years at the club. He won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Before Ferguson, was inconsistent because we weren't good under Atkinson, we weren't good under Milf McGuinness, and we weren't good under Frank O'Farrell. So yeah. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Let me know what you think of what Bruno Fernandes has come out and said. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.